Hello everybody. By this video, I am going to demonstrate about a DevOps tool called Ansible. The objective of this video is to give a brief overview about Ansible, SSH protocol, and Ansible terminologies, and followed by it a short demonstration. What is Ansible? An Ansible is a powerful automation tool used in the DevOps world for application deployment, cloud provisioning, configuration management, and service orchestration. It basically automates all the deployment tasks carried out by an operation team. It enables managing and controlling multiple remote servers without logging into the server by establishing SSH connection. So before diving into details of Ansible, first let's understand what is SSH. An SSH is a secure socket shell protocol for communications between two servers. The communications between the two servers are encrypted and the data packets communicated cannot be sniffed by anybody. The SSH protocol follows public private key authentication, which is a passwordless authentication, which helps a lot for the automation. Let's assume that there are two servers, server 1 and server 2. Let's say that server 1 requires a communication with server 2. For server 1 to communicate to server 2, SSH keys needs to be generated for server 1. The keys are generated using the command SSH keygen. Say that we have generated the SSH keys like public key and the private key of the server 1. So both these keys, that is public and the private key of the server 1, would be available in server 1. And for enabling SSH communication of server 1 to server 2, the public key of the server 1 is configured in the server 2. Whenever an SSH connection is required by the server 1, the server 1 requests for that with its private key. The server 2 validates the private key by finding the matching public key of it. If it finds a matching one, the communication between them is entertained. If it doesn't find any matching one, the communication is aborted there. Ansible uses this protocol to communicate with the deployment nodes. Let's dive into Ansible terminologies. Control node. The control node is the node on which Ansible is installed. Managed nodes. The node to which the controller node is connecting to. The managed node does not require Ansible to be installed. Inventory. An inventory is a text file that lists down the managed nodes. Configuration files. Configuration files are the parameters that determines the working of Ansible. For example, it will say the location of the inventory in the controller node. Facts. Facts is a system properties gathered on execution of Playbook on a remote machine. Say, if a controller node connects to a managed node, and if we want to view the facts of the managed nodes that the controller node is connected to, we can do that using Ansible. So the facts are properties of the managed nodes playbook. Playbook is a list of tasks to be executed, is a collection of list of tasks to be executed on the managed nodes. It is written in a YAML file. Modules. Modules are a simple unit of code that is called inside the playbook or inside the task. Variables. The variables are used in Ansible when you want to make the execution different for different remote machines. Maybe it looks like more theoretical, but when I demonstrate, I'll make sure that all these terminologies are well understood. Okay, Ansible installation and setup. So as I said earlier, only the controller node requires the Ansible to be installed. So we have to mark or we have to designate one node as a controller node and Ansible needs to be installed there. Second step, the controller node is the node which is going to make SSH connection to the managed nodes, and hence SSH keys needs to be generated for the controller node. Followed by it, the public key of the controller node needs to be configured in all the managed nodes in order to enable the connection between the controller node and the managed nodes. Okay, now let's get into demonstration. So on GCP, I have created two VM instances, namely Ansible controller instance and other one is Ansible managed instance. Here, the Ansible controller instance is the instance where Ansible is being installed, and Ansible managed instance one is the one which doesn't have Ansible installed on it. Let me show that. So now let's make a SSH connection to each of this for our demonstration. So along with this demonstration, I would like to demonstrate on the fly registering of new managed node. So let me create a new VM while I demonstrate the other one. I'm going to create one in Mumbai. To enable display device that helps in demonstration. So I will have to rename this. Yes. So Ansible managed instance 2. So let me create this. While it is getting created, let me connect to this. Okay. So this is a controller instance. Okay, the point which I am going to demonstrate here is only the controller instance will have the Ansible installed. So Ansible hyphen version, sorry, hyphen version. So if you see, Ansible is installed in the controller. Let me go to SSH of the managed instance. So when I type here, so Ansible is not available here. This proves that. Okay. And now let me pick up the terminologies one by one and then give a clear explanation about it. So the control node I have already explained and I have shown you is a node where only Ansible is installed, and managed node Ansible is not installed. Now let me demonstrate about inventory. Okay, inventory. So let me go to SSH of not the managed one, the control one. Okay, the controller one. Okay, so now here what I have to demonstrate about inventory. Inventory is a host file, vi host. You see here, this is the inventory file. The inventory file lists down the managed nodes. So here you are seeing two managed nodes, but actually the last one I have already deleted. So let me remove that, and then we can make it on the fly. And anyway, one more VM is getting created. So let me remove this to avoid confusion. Okay. So now if you see here, this 10.160.0.6 is a managed node. I can show it here. If you see here, the managed instance one, that is the SSH which I am showing out there. If you see the IP address of it, 1060.0.0.6. So 1060.0.6, and this private key file is the SSH key of the controller. Still I am in controller only because all this configuration goes in the controller node. So this is available in .ssh folder id underscore rse. So this is the server which the controller node is going to connect to, and this is the private key which the controller is going to use to request for SSH connection with this server. Okay, and now what is this square bracket in the name? This is a grouping. So in case you want to group to around 5 nodes under one group, you can of course include here all that managed nodes under one group. Okay, and this part is the called as inventory variable. So this is the way of configuring inventory variable in the host file. So this is kind of a global variable for all the nodes which is grouped under GCP node 1. And if you could see GCP node 1 colon bus. So under here, whichever comes, all that would be a global parameter for, or global variable for the nodes which is grouped under GCP node 1. Okay, so here for demonstration purpose, I have created a variable called folder underscore path. So this is the inventory variable. Okay, let me come out of this. Sorry, escape. I'm sorry, I have given a escape. Anyway, the other server is getting ready, and already it has got ready and it has got an IP of 0.7. So let's configure in interest of time. Okay, not this. So it is 7. Is it 7? Okay, so I have grouped both these managed nodes under GCP node 1. I think this won't work out. I mean, let me delete this and then later come here and add it. Only then the demonstration would be better. Okay, so let me delete this. Okay, now let's make it simple. Only one node and then this one. Okay, and one inventory variable. So escape. I'm just saving it. Okay, and now the next configuration file. So it determines the working of Ansible. So let me show that. So vi ansible.cfg. So it has lot of configuration, but one important configuration is inventory equal to the location of the inventory file or the host file. So whenever we execute the playbook, Ansible will be picking up the inventory file as configured in ansible.cfg. So it picks up the host file from this location. So that is the configuration file. These are the parameters for the workings of the Ansible. Okay. Let me come out of this, and this should have betterly explained about the configuration. Now let me move on to fact. So facts. So facts are the details about the managed nodes gathered by the controller. So let me demonstrate with an example. Sorry, I have that command. I don't remember the command, so I'll have to pick it up from here. Yeah, so this is the one. So now let me run this on this. So it has got, okay, the connection is lost now. That's a good thing. Now I can demonstrate very clearly why isn't working. So let's go to .ssh ls-lrt. There is no authorized keys. So as explained in my presentation, for the controller node to make connection to managed node, the public key of the controller should be configured in the managed node. That is not available now. So let me create. Okay. And from here, I should copy the public key. Public key will always end with .pub. So copy, go back to my managed instance, paste it here, escape, shift:/WQ. Yeah. So now the public key is configured here. Now it should work. Let me get back to that. There you go. Now it was able to make connection. So this was mainly to explain about facts. So the facts or the parameters about the managed nodes gathered by the controller node. You can call it as parameters or the information. So the facts or the information of the managed node gathered by the controller node. If you see here, these are all the information about the controller node. So these are the facts about the controller node. What is its IP address? What is its IPv6 address? What is its boot image? It has a lot of other details as well. So these are all called facts. Okay, now let's scroll down. Let me issue clear. Okay, now let's get back to the next terminology, playbook. So playbook is a consolidation of list of tasks that are going to be executed on the controller node, sorry, on the managed node in sequence fashion. Okay, so let me show a playbook to make very clear about what is it. So vi, let me open the playbook named file playbook. Okay, so on this, yeah, this is a playbook. The first one says host, on which host this particular task needs to be executed. So if you see here, this IP address is the IP address of the managed node. So let me show that. Yeah. Okay, so this is wrong actually, so let me change that. So this is ending with 6. Okay, ending with 6. Insert. So it should be 6. Okay, so the first thing, the host label says that execute all of these tasks on the managed node with IP address, this one. Gather facts is yes, this is by default yes, but anyhow I have given, but by default the controller node will be gathering the facts. And here where's http underscore port colon 80. So this is the other type of variable called playbook variable, which is defined within the variable, within the playbook. So this playbook have 3 tasks. One is creating an empty file, and other one creating a file with the content, and other one appending the file content. Okay, so the first one will just make a touch file, and the second one will make a file with the content by reading the playbook variable. So the playbook variable or any kind of Ansible variables are referenced via open curly braces at the left and ending with the closed curly braces at the end. Okay, and the last one demonstrates about Ansible command line variable. So the command line variable, this is accessed again via the same method, and it is a conditional execution. That task is a conditional execution. Why is it conditional? You can see the when condition. So it will be executed only when the parameter https underscore port is available. So that is what given here. And in the terminology, there is something called module. So these are called module. We use 3 modules here: file module, copy module, line in file module. So here I am using the file module to create a file, empty file. And here I am using a copy module to create a file with the content and copy that to the managed nodes. So that is what the copy module is doing here. So it has 2 parameters. One is the destination on which the folder has to be placed. Here the destination means the destination on the managed node. And the content will define the content. And the next module is line in file. It has 2 parameters: the path to which the file has to be appended, the content has to be appended. So the line which has to be appended is here. So if no line is there available in that particular file, it is newly written. If a line is available, the line is attached at the end. Okay, I hope I have covered all the things. Yeah, modules, variables, everything is covered. So now let's escape this and get back to this and let me get this executed. Sorry, 6, escape. Okay, so how do we execute this? Ansible hyphen playbook, and then you have to locate the playbook. So playbook slash, yeah, and now enter. So no host matched. 82 dot, I think something is wrong. Okay, let me check that. Okay, it's wrong. Copy. Let me come there and let me open the playbook. So these errors are giving me a good opportunity to demonstrate in a better way. So now I have changed it. Okay, let me run it again. Yes, now it is connected. So it has skipped the last one because I have not sent any command line parameters. Okay, now let me move on to the managed node and show the files being created. Cd dot ls minus lrt. So if you see here, there is a file with content with Ansible file create.txt, which is a touch file. You can see 0 bytes. So I can open and show you. So it doesn't have anything, 0 lines. And let me open file with content. So by default, HTTP runs on port 80. If you see, the 80 comes from the playbook variable. Control Z. So let me show that. So vi, yeah, if you see here, HTTP port 80. So by default, HTTP runs on port 80. This is replaced by this playbook variable. The last one is not replaced because it is not available, and it is a conditional execution, and it is not executed because the variable is not available. So now let me come out of this and then send that parameter. How do you send extra parameters? Extra verse. I'm not sure whether it is right, but let me check. Space https underscore port is equal to 8443. So the third one should get executed. Let me check. Yes, it has executed. If you see, the third task has got executed because it has got the relevant parameter. Now let me show it there, the execution. Now the file with content should have got appended. Okay, so there is a timestamp change. So vi file with content 50. You see, by default HTTP runs on port 80. By default HTTPS runs on 8443. So the second line is being appended. Control Z. Okay. Now let me come back here. I have an other playbooks which will remove all these files from the. So it has two tasks. One is to remove this Ansible file create.txt and other one to remove file with content. These are all from file module. When you want to delete a file, you have to give a path to it and say state is absent. Okay. Control Z. No, Control Z. I'll have to make a change there because the IP has changed. So hence, always we should use the groupings, because if the IP changes, if you start and if you restart your VM instances created on the cloud, the IP used to change. So we'll have to always depend on the group names. So now just for demonstration, I'm showing this. Okay. And let me pick up the IP from here. Yeah. Okay. Escape. So now I can execute this. Playbooks / remove demo files. So all has been removed. I can show you that. I think ls minus lrt should be good. So all the files has been removed. So now let's move on to next demonstration, adding a new managed node to the existing controller. So if you see here, the instance have been created. Let me make a SSH. Again, even here, the Ansible installation is not required. I think I should have clicked this before I could demonstrate. So next time, okay, instance 2. So here now what we have to do is we have to go to configure the public key of the is already there. Oh my god, how come it's possible? Added by Google itself. Very good, super nice. These are for SSH keys. Okay, insert. Okay, this is for making SSH connection from my personal laptop to here. But now I want one of this server, that is the controller node, to connect to this. So I'm going to make that. Okay, go here. Yeah, here. cd cd.ssh cat id underscore rsa dot pub. So I will take up this. I will go to the new managed node. Let me also comment it. Escape. Okay, now for maybe let's have a look if it's available. Yeah, it's there. Okay, come out of it. So now let's configure them, but before that let's see is it working or not. SSH minus I. So this is the way usually when we want to connect to another instance from a controller instance. So I'm in controller instance. I'm going to make a SSH connection to another server. So the way it is used is SSH minus I, the private key location, and username at. So I need this IP. So by this I can confirm whether the connectivity exists between the I think there is some problem. Permission denied, public key. I've copied this, but I don't know. Not sure why. Let's check. Instance 2, this is the one. Okay, it has gone up. Okay, let's see. That's the reason. 50. Control B. Oh my god, it's wrong. Let me go back here. Copy this. Actually, those are all the public keys which are generated when we are making a connection to SSH. So those are all generated. So now let me remove this. And now this won't get updated. Yes. Okay. Now if we go there. Yeah. Clear. Now it should work. Yes, see here. From controller instance, I have connected to managed instance 2. So connection is working fine. Let me exit. Now let me change something on change some configuration has to be changed because a new managed node has been added. The first thing is host file. cd ansible vi host. Yeah, on this under GCP node 1, I'm going to add a one more one. Insert. Where is this? I need to know the IP address. Okay, paste it here, and then Ansible underscore SSH underscore private underscore key underscore file is equal to slash home slash ashok underscore vijay k slash dot ssh id underscore rsa. Okay, all looks good. There is no spelling errors. Okay, now actually we can refer directly with the group name what will happen. On the host in the playbook, I will mention the GCP node 1 and I will show you what will happen. What will happen is the list of tasks in the playbook, all will be executed in both the servers. First it will get executed on 6 and then it executes on the 7. Each task is executed individually on each of the server and then it will keep on moving. Okay, so now I think this part is done. I think this will enable this person to work. Okay, now vi playbooks slash file playbook.yaml, and then now rather than giving here like this, I am going to give the group name. So GCP node 1. So now all this will be executed on both the servers. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate. So this change has been done. Okay, and now let me show there are no files here. ls minus lrt, no files here. Let me show here also. There are second instance, there are no files here. After the execution of the commands, now the files would be created. Ansible playbook playbooks slash file playbook.yaml. So now when I'm executing, see here, first it is executing on 6 and then on 7. And this, the last task is skipped as usual. So now I can show that. So on managed instance 1, when I do ls minus lrt, I can find it. So this is an empty file and the other one is file with content. By default http runs on port 80, and now I should run that with a parameter extra vars https underscore port is equal to 8443. Again it will be executing. Okay, so now let me show it on there. Okay, you've got this, but I need to show it on the manage instance 2 also. So there were no files before, now we have file, nothing in this. So this has 2 lines. So now I'm going to execute again and going to remove all of them. So ls minus lrt will show you 2 file. This should be perfect. And instance 2 clear ls minus lrt 2 files. Okay, now let me remove them. Okay, here it has run on only one because I have given there only one IP address. So that has to be changed actually. So it has to be changed to GCP node 1. Okay, now if we check running that again, okay, now it is running on all. Now if we go and check ls minus lrt gone, ls all has gone, and it has given a successful execution. Okay, that is the end of the demonstration. I hope this video would be very useful for the Ansible beginners. Okay, so further I will make some other video which will give more explanation about the other terminologies of Ansible. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it, and if you want to subscribe for more video, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you all. Bye.